What are some of the things that you can say offhand that you've lost so far? I mean, due to COVID.
Personally?
No, I mean the conventional culture.
When anything affects culture, it affects the commission. For example, as you were rightly saying, for us as humans, or let's say Ghanaians per se, what makes us who we are is not something big, but it's the little things that we do. We meet each other and want to hug each other and want to shake, the handshakes you're talking about, that kind of gist, the closeness is what makes us who we are. And so you realize that anytime, one of the things that people attract to us when they come to Ghana is that the people are friendly. These are the things. So for us, it's really a bad thing for us. It's not helping us because the more we stop doing those things, the separation gaps become wider. And the more we become separated, then the connection is lost. So for us, it's not a good thing.
Right. So I know the creative arts is under your wing as well, and a lot of producers have been putting on their social media handles asking for the cinemas to be opened in the midst of COVID, even though we're trying to battle COVID. Are you in support of that motion? Before I ask my follow-up question.
No, I'm not 100% in support of that. We wish that it is open, but currently, as the situation stands, I'm not in support.
But don't you agree that the closing down of the cinemas is affecting a lot of people who were making their hand-to-mouth from that sector, or when it comes to premieres? Yeah,
as I said earlier on, the toll of COVID on us is huge. Not just in the cinemas, but in every aspect.
Course,
but for me to say I 100% vote for them to open it, then I'll also not be doing help to the country, because now it is not the wish of the people or the wish of an individual to say that I want to just close it down. It is the safety of the people within the country, at the larger extent is what we're looking at. Because anytime there's a gathering, per what we've known from the World Health Organization, from our health ministry, anytime there's a gathering, then the spread is on the high, and that is what we want to prevent. So we realize that in the cinemas and stuff like that, that's where as Ghanaians, as I said earlier on, our culture, the family, the coming together, the tightness is what we are afraid of, because the moment you open that floodgates and we get into that space, believe you me, COVID or without COVID, that particular aspect of us will come out, because even today, as I woke up, walking out of the house, I saw a friend, I'm like, hey, Bugger, what's up? Just unconsciously, it happened,
right.
Then you remember that, hey, the COVID is there, then, all of a sudden you get it. So once you put the people together, it's not that somebody wants to stop their fun, but once you put them together, obviously the part of us that makes us who we are, our culture will come out,
right.
And that is where it becomes a breeding ground for
Right.
So
how do we maintain our culture, which is a big part of us, in COVID? So I'll see you and I wouldn't have to shake you, but how do I maintain my culture while saving my life as well?
That question is a nice question, but let's take it from this angle. You realize that when we say culture, we are not just looking at a particular thing. We're looking at the entire totality of man, our behavior, our practices, everything. So now COVID has come to attack certain aspect of it, not the entire thing. So for you to
agree that it's affected majority?
Yeah, it has affected a lot. Yes.
I mean, when there's homo, people eat the pepele together, they prepare it together. During other festivals, there are lots of activities they do together, but because they can't do these things, they can't really celebrate the festivals as they do before. So it's not just about the handshakes. Even in our various homes, we know that in the most traditional homes, they serve the children together, or sometimes even the parents and the kids eat together. So all of these things we are not able to do. So how do we even maintain our culture or find ourselves as Ghanaians, as Africans after COVID?
You know, the thing is that continuity is the most important thing.
Exactly.
You know, despite the challenges, we need to find a way to continue. And so we need to try and adjust. That's how come we are humans. We need to find a way to adjust. Let's take, for instance, you know, the festival things. There are practices that involves all the clan members and everything come together. But based on the situation, we also within these clans, we have leaders. And so we can just adjust to the fact that, okay, we are not in normal time. So for this time around, let the leaders alone do that, which is, we used to do that before the larger things come. So we can just go back to it, have the leaders do. So that means that the numbers are reducing, you know, and yes, still the culture is being performed. You know, when it comes to the family, where you know, you said we sit together, we eat together. Yes, it's one of the things that bond the family, the children together. I remember growing up when I was eating with my brothers. You know, sometimes you even learn from there that you learn to respect your elderly, because or no befa namne first or tibia no amobi. You know, it brings all those things are there. But here's the case. You know, we trying as much as possible not to also kill ourselves before the end of the day. So we have to, you know, let that thing back. More of the oral talking of our culture, more of the showing, you know, of our culture through other means, you know, the virtual and stuff should go on, but we should try as much as possible to prevent the, you know, the normal gathering kind of thing. Then
right. Speaking of prevention, what has the Commission on Culture done so far to combat COVID, and what will you be doing going forward?
You know, for us, the creative sector, we hold a powerful tool in terms of combating this COVID pandemic that we find ourselves. From January, you know, what we've been doing is that through a collaboration with the COVID Fund, Trust Fund, we've been able to put, you know, shows together, and through drama, you know, the performing arts in all the regions, because you know, Commission is represented in all the system regions. But here in Accra, we even through the Community Youth Cultural Center, which is under the Commission, we use the process of puppetry. I don't know if you still remember puppets.
Yeah,
the show.
I do.
Yeah, so we went back to that. We did the puppetry show in almost about. We did it some in Malata Market, Mamubi Market, Ruga. You know, the parks. You know, the community spaces. We're using puppetry to you know, send down the message. And I know you remember Osofudazi, Akan dramas. Why do you still remember them? Because these were visual imprints that were, you know, shown to us. So we realize that people do remember and adhere to things by what they see, not necessarily by what they read, but what they see. And so we try to visualize most of these messages and send. And that's what the Commission has been doing so far. And the response and the impact, we our records, it looks like it's really sinking down well to the people, because when you walk through there, you see the children trying to mimic what we did and all that. You know, it's very, for children, especially for children, the impact is very strong. Right. And so we are very happy of what we're doing, because you know, when we go to the schools, one child takes the marks, wears it, you know, and goes and like mommy showed, you know. I'm just making sure, you know how children are, they exchange things. I want to see how yours is. So your child goes home with blue, comes home with black, and you're like, hey, how come? You know, so these are some of the messages that we send out, trying to get them to know that it's not good to be exchanging things of that nature. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing.
I think with that, don't you think that we should probably mandate the schools or the parents to buy specific types of nose masks? Because my children's school, that's what they told us before they allowed the kids to come into school. We had a PTA, and they said to us that we are going to sell the same nose mask, so that the children are not tempted to say, let me try yours and see, or yours is nicer. So shouldn't we be putting that in place in the other schools as well? Yeah,
you see, when it comes to this this aspect, you know, it's kind of difficult for me now personally. This time, because the situations are not the same. You know, when you put parents in the same jacket, it becomes a bit difficult. Let's just say I'm buying this one for 1 cedi. The school comes out to say, we want them, all of them, to use one thing, so let's use it. And they come out with about 3 cedi one. You know, some parents can afford.
I mean, they can tell them to buy specific, like these ones
yeah.
that you're using.
Yeah, if
so,
that is the case, then I support the idea of, and I think that should be repeated in almost all.
Right. This is leading me to my follow-up question, which has to do with what the Commission will be doing to combat, because we are still in COVID, we are still fighting COVID. But before that, if you just tuned into the conversation, we are talking about COVID and how it has affected our culture, how we can live in COVID and not lose our culture in the end of the day. And I have in the studio a gentleman from the Commission on Culture, Martin Odoi. I didn't get it wrong this time. So we are going to talk about how to, going forward, what the Commission is doing or will be doing in order to combat COVID. Yeah,
so one of the things that we've started is that we are engaging GES to allow us to enter the schools, with this, with the puppetry and with the drama, because we believe that it is one of the easiest way or the fastest way to drown down the message to the people. So we are engaging them on that light, and also we are engaging the new norm, the social media fronts. We are trying to see how possible best we can make a lot of impact through the social media as well, and also we're doing the radio and the TV, as well. The announcement, we're trying to see how we put radio drama together. We are moving out to the communities, especially the most crowded areas. Then we do the radio announcements, so that it drums down the message down to the people. So basically, that's our focus for now.
For now, right?
Yeah, and we are also open to all creative bodies and all agencies that are willing to come on board to spread the thing as wide as it can go, because we need all the help that we can. We are a body, but we can't do all. And so all agencies, all bodies, private sectors that are willing to come and support us with what we're doing, it's welcome.
Right. Yeah. I was willing to let this go, but I mean, through your submission, it kept coming up. You mentioned that initially you had a puppeteering show to educate the people, etc., etc., and then you're saying it will be a continuous thing. Yeah. It has to do with gathering, isn't it? Because people have to come and watch the show in order to even feel educated in the first place. First off, how are you able to ensure COVID protocols? Now, if the Commission is allowed to gather people, why are producers not allowed to gather people in the cinema?
Good. So what we do with the shows is we are not really gathering the people.
So how
it is more or less like a moving thing. Now, for a puppetry show, we're looking at more or less like 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, a short message, we move on. So we don't even put a seat there or a chair there. No. We are doing it in a way that even passers-by can still have a glimpse of what we're doing or catch a message. So we know the protocols. We are not breaking the protocols of gathering at all.
Outside.
Do them outside. We also engage more of the radio kind of thing. So it's a van packed, the speakers at the top, you hear the play. You hear the engagements, so we don't do, and even with the markets, everybody is where he or she is, because we raise the platform a bit higher where the puppets are doing. So you don't have to come gather to see. You just need to be at where you are, and we make sure we drum that message before the whole thing starts, so we don't get any form of gathering, So yeah, we have those measures there, and we do share the sanitizers, the nose masks, when we go for these outreach. Yeah. Right.
Now, since producers cannot have premieres, and then also the music side, they cannot come together to hold events, etc. Because most of the musicians, they make more money from the more shows that they play. And so
it's not only them.
It's not.
The people that come together to form that is huge, because the vendors are there, the sound people.
Exactly.
Everybody is making something out of just one gathering. So it's the situation that we are playing with.
So what do you have to tell them? What can they do also now that they cannot actively work? What advice do you have for them?
I'll take a clue from what Uncle Ebo White is doing now. Right. Uncle Ebo White also has a big show when it comes to the open kind of thing, the gathering. But because of COVID, now that he's not doing that, what he has decided to do is the radio shows and stuff like that, going virtual. So I think that most of our people to also start, getting used to the situation and jumping onto the new phase of life. That is the virtual and the things that do not, because Uncle Odoi still does a show but virtual, and still takes the money. He still collects the fee. So it is not specific to just people. Everybody, once you're a producer, just try and be more creative with your output. If the gathering is not there, what else can you do? There's a virtual space. There's so I would advise them to start engaging such platforms, and so that, because what they are doing cannot die. We pray that it doesn't die.